Taurus, this October, small changes in your habits could spark big growth when it comes to love, work, and your well being. Hey, Taurus, I'm Lindsay with Love. I'm a Western tropical zodiac astrologer, here to raise the frequency of the planet by transforming as many lives as I possibly can. And astrology is one tool I use to do just that. So, Taurus, let's get on with your October 2025 horoscope. I've got you in the camera here. I've got my notes on my computer here. I've got my mic here off screen. And so, every once in a while, Taurus, I'll be looking down at my computer to make sure that I'm delivering you the most accurate information. So, we will kick it off with Mercury. We'll go through Mercury, Venus, Mars, the full moon, the new moon, and then I will let you on your merry way. So let's go, Taurus. Mercury starting off in the sign of Mercury. In the sign of Libra. Mercury cannot be in the sign of Mercury. That doesn't make any sense. Mercury starting off in Libra, and this is an energy of you being. Oh, that's my cuckoo clock. Oh. So cute. Okay, so Mercury is starting off in Libra. Once again, this is the energy of you being rather focused on peace and balance and harmony. You are clear minded. There's open communication with this energy. You are quite compromising as well. And this is all happening in the part of the sky for you that involves your day to day life. It involves your work routines, it involves what you're doing throughout the day, kind of like your daily routines. And it also involves your health as well. And so here you're rather focused in on finding like really balanced routines in your everyday. Or if you're not, you can use this energy for that. So you're focused in on finding ways to communicate really well with your colleagues and your coworkers and your boss. And you're trying to find that nice, harmonious routine perhaps at work where you're productive when you need to be and you can rest when you want to rest. It's a time where you're focused in on what you're doing throughout the day. It would be really smart of you, Taurus, to pay attention to your energy throughout the day and your energy levels, and also the things that are bringing you joy and the things that are depleting you of your energy, right? Now, this is a very like compromising, mediating, finding the balance type of energy, negotiating type energy. And so you might find yourself in your daily life at the beginning of this month kind of negotiating with people in your everyday life. I mean, it could be good or bad. Like, I don't know what you're negotiating about. I don't know what you're trying to compromise on. I say, compromise with people that it's worth compromising, but set boundaries otherwise, right? Also, this energy could be in the lower vibration, a little bit indecisive. So be mindful here as well, because in your everyday life, obviously, we're making tons of decisions all day long. And being indecisive is really just a decision not to make a decision, which will ultimately cause stagnation. And you don't really want to be stagnant in your everyday routines. Like, you've got to keep moving forward. I'm not saying moving forward with tons of human effort, but I am saying make progress every day in a very like intuitive, effortless, flowing way toward your dreams and goals, right? And so be mindful of that here. Now, Mercury in Libra, it's also very like Zen type, healing, loving, compassionate energy. And so in this part of the sky that involves your health, you might find or kind of have an aha moment or come across something, whether it's in writing, on the internet, a book, whatever, that leads you toward greater health, specifically if you're searching for answers around your health. Now, if you're healthy, then I would assume that things are going to continue to go well for you in that arena. You might be interested in maybe adding some sort of soft kind of energy to your routine. For example, I just started doing qigong, right? And it's very just like wiggling of the body. It is what it feels like. Of course, it's not just wiggling your body, but it's a very soft routine that still moves the chi or the energy throughout the body and helps you be nice and balanced. So you might be interested in kind of softer workout routines that are still super beneficial to your body and your energy. All right, on the 6th of the month, Mercury shifts into Scorpio, and this is a rather intense energy in the mind, right? Mercury, the intellect, Mercury, your thoughts, Mercury, your communication, Scorpio, intense, probing, researching, troubleshooting, analyzing, wanting to uncover the truth, wanting to go really deep and figure it out. And for you, this energy is hanging out in the part of the sky that involves your very close one on one relationships. Well, it's going to go one of two ways here, Taurus. You are going to be very interested in having probably very deep communication, like very deep conversations, very like, tell me more, tell me this. Like, maybe in the lower vibration, kind of like investigative, a little bit detective like, and like very like, um, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. Maybe it'll come to me later, but it's like you are yeah, you're like interviewing them and you're like, tell me this and this and this, and you're trying to uncover something. Maybe you're trying to like catch them in like an aha moment, like caught you in that lie, or caught you, you know, saying something or doing something that you're not supposed to be. So be mindful here, right? Because in the lower vibrations, it's suspicious. It's like secretive. It's like, yeah, kind of like trailing somebody type of vibes. So, you know, in the highest vibration, this is you deepening a connection with your partner, your best friend, even your business partner. This is you coming up with like brilliant business ideas if that's what you're doing. This is you communicating with your partner around ways to expand your life, to level up, like how the next 5 years of the relationship is going to evolve. But once again, in the lower vibrations, it could be a little bit like, you're in the room and I'm the police officer or the detective and I am just like hammering in on you. So just be mindful with that energy there. All right. It could also be, I should mention, it could also be that you're a little bit introverted in the lower vibration as well. Not necessarily in the lower vibration, but feels a little bit introverted. You're not super talkative. So like I said, it's going to go one of two ways, Taurus. Remember, this is an energetic potential in the sky, and you get to make the choice, right? You always get to make the choice. So set your intention, go in with the highest frequency that you can if you're working with this energy this month. All right, that's happening basically all month long, all the way until the 29th. Mercury will shift into Sagittarius. And now it's a very jovial energy, optimistic, visionary, expansive, big ideas, not interested in the little details, go big or go home in the mindset type of vibes. And for you, it's hanging out in the part of the sky, let's see, that involves your own ability to transform your life, your own ability to regenerate yourself, your ability to come into union with somebody in a very intimate way, a very vulnerable way, trusting way, and level up together. So it's actually pretty expansive energy in a really beautiful part of the sky. So say with Mercury in your relationship house in Scorpio, you were like having those deep conversations with your partner, like in 5 years, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to figure this out. And you're understanding each other deeper. Then when Mercury shifts at the end of the month into Sagittarius, now you're like planning it all out. You're like, okay, I have this money, we're going to put it in this bank account, and then you're going to put it in this, and we're going to invest it, and the wealth is going to grow. Maybe you're planning out like, this is what I need to do. These are the things I'm going to compromise on. These are the things you're going to compromise on, so we can power couple it up together. So pretty cool energy, Taurus. Use it how you desire to use it. And Taurus, before we move on to Venus, the energy of love and money, hit the subscribe button if you're a Taurus, if you have one in your life, or perhaps you're cross-watching for somebody you know. All right, Venus. I think it's actually freedom, but hey, whatever. Venus starts off in Virgo. And this is a healing energy. This is carrying over from last month. So we're still in this very loving, kind of healing vibe type energy, being of service to others, really loving on ourselves. And for you, it's in the part of the sky, Taurus, that involves your total fulfillment in life, right? So you could very well be healing a part of your life that once is healed will bring more pleasure, more joy, more fulfillment, okay? Venus is in this part of the sky that's kind of all encompassing around romance, children, around your creativity, your artistic self expression, and your entrepreneurial journey if you're on one. And so, here at the beginning of the month, you could be once again deepening a connection, a romantic connection. You might be attracting many different suitors if you're single. You might be deciding to, you know, move the relationship forward with a specific romantic partner. If you're dating somebody, it's a time where you could be really loving on the children you have, deciding to have children or not in a very intentional way, making an intentional choice for that. Um, or, you know, or technically making children. Technically, right? Venus in the part of the sky that involves children, Venus, the energy of love. So, could be doing that as well. Now, it's also an energy around creativity, and Venus is super artistic, right? Venus is beauty. It's peace, it's harmony. And so you could be tapping into your creative efforts. And because Venus is also the energy of love, you could be deciding to express this creative energy and attract money in with it. This is also, once again, as I mentioned, the part of the sky that involves your entrepreneurial pursuits. So if you're a business owner, or if you're doing something like you're getting paid on social media or something like that, you could expect money to be flowing to you quite easily at this time. Then on the 13th of the month, Venus shifts from Virgo into Libra. And now this is super beautiful energy because Venus is in rulership in Libra. And of course Taurus as well, but in Libra. And it's really an easy, effortless energy. It's an energy of love. It's an energy of romance. It's soft. It's very charming. Um, it's really just a beautiful energy. You can just feel it, right? You can feel it. So this is happening on the 13th of the month, and it's shifting into the part of the sky for you that involves your everyday life. And so if you've been maybe struggling with your day-to-day routines, if you've been feeling a little bit down in your everyday life, this is a time where you could really tap into a lot of healing energy. You're magnetic, as I mentioned, when it comes to your work. When I say work, I'm talking like your everyday, like you drive to work, you clock in, you get to your desk, you make your coffee. Like I'm talking like the everyday routine at work. You're magnetic, you're open, you're charismatic. Things are going smoothly and easily for you. There's like very little any like pushing with human effort. It's like flow state type vibes. And in your everyday life, it's the same. So you're quite magnetic in your day to day. This is you going out and about in the world and people complimenting you, and traffic opens up and you get the best parking spot and you get the free coffee and whatever else. But potentially even meeting somebody in your day to day or at work, even that could be a romantic partner for you. And when it comes to this part of the sky with Venus here as well, it's all about health and like serving others. So if you're working on healing some part of you, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, this is a time where you can tap into that energy and really pour love onto yourself, Taurus. Healing is a mental game. It is a mental game. And so, as is all of our reality. And so, once you really tap into that, you can just start beautiful I am mantras, listening to the frequency music, meditating more, setting aside time every day for the self-care. It will help you transcend and move into higher and higher vibrations. When it comes to money, this, I think I mentioned like your day to day. It could be that you get like a raise, promotion at work, something like that. And it's a time where you also might be, if like life is flowing really effortlessly for you, you might be interested in helping others, really extending your heart and compassion and helping others heal as well. Now, remember, Taurus, it is not your job to heal other people. It is your job. Of course, this is my own personal opinion. I believe it is my job. I'm not going to tell you what your job is. I believe it is my job to live my most fulfilled, fullest, healthiest, happiest life. And I know that the way to do that is by following my heart, trusting myself, connecting with my higher self, God, source, universe, creator, and healing myself. honoring my energy every single day. And if I am constantly in my highest vibration, then that means that everybody that I share energy with throughout the day gets to feel that. And perhaps it helps them raise their vibration as well. And so you might be in that kind of mindset or that desire, but I always remind myself, I cannot heal anybody. I can only be a channel for the healing to move through. I can only be the voice. I can only be the guide. It's like lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink type vibes. So you might have a lot of compassion in your heart during this transit, this Venus energy in this part of the sky. But just remember, it's not your job to go out and do that. And you really can't force somebody into that anyway. Okay. Let's talk the full moon. There is a full moon happening on the 6th of the month in Aries. And this full moon at a very general level is saying, release something that's blocking your own independence, release something that is blocking you from the life path that you desire, release something that's holding you down from or disempowering you, and so you're not really captaining your own ship. It is perhaps shining a spotlight on something that around like your I am presence, your energy, or your core identity that needs to be adjusted in some way so that you can really move forward and manifest your best reality. And for you, Taurus, this energy is hanging out in the part of the sky that involves your spirituality, your subconscious beliefs, what's hidden behind the veil, your connection to God, Source, Universe, Creator, your faith, your ability to surrender, to go with the flow, to manifest. And so perhaps you're releasing yourself from something, maybe a negative habit, even as far as an addiction that's holding you back from your dream reality. It could be that you are being enlightened in some way, right? The full moon shining a spotlight on something. Maybe you're like having this aha moment, like, oh my gosh, this belief, this way of living, this idea I have around what God, Source, Universe, Creator is, this idea I have around my own spirituality has been holding me back. And so you're able to release it, right? So this full moon's quite powerful for you around your spiritual energy and your ability to connect and trust your intuition, right? Because we all have an intuition, but a lot of us have a hard time trusting it. But you can build your own self-trust. And the way to do that, Taurus, is by simply deciding you're going to do something, even if it's a very small task. Each day, give yourself one task and complete it. And you will start to build your own personal integrity. You'll start to trust yourself to do the job, and then it snowball effects, right? And then all of a sudden you have the self-trust that's necessary to follow your intuition, to manifest your best life. All right, let's talk Mars. Mars is hanging out in Scorpio all month long. Mars entered into Scorpio at the end of this past month, September. Where am I right now? September, and will stay until early November. So this is a really intense energy. We talked about Mercury in Scorpio earlier. Mars is here with Mercury, and it is like strong-willed energy. It is where there is a will, there's a way. This is the achieving the impossible. You're goal-focused, ready to do the damn thing. I am suggesting to all signs that if they have a lot of extra physical energy, to use it. This is a month where we could get really like way closer to our goals physically than perhaps any other time, because Mars in this part of the sky is just super strong, right? Mars and Scorpio in rulership traditionally, so adds extra oomph to it all. Now for you, Taurus, very specifically, be mindful, right? Because this energy is hanging out for you in the part of the sky that involves your intimate relationships. So remember earlier I was saying that, you're going to maybe be a little bit probing, a little bit pushy, a little bit investigative, a little bit, why can I still not think of the dang word? If you know the word I'm trying to think, put it in the comments below. It's like lie detector energy, right? It's like, anyway, Taurus. So on one hand, you're going to be really physically connected to your closest people, right? And you're going to want, it's a passionate energy. And so that might be exciting for you, Taurus. But on the other hand, it could come across as too assertive, too aggressive, too bossy, too domineering, too blunt, too forward, too controlling almost, right? So just be careful here, because in the highest vibration, it's enjoying your relationships, it's connecting at a deep level, it's being vulnerable and courageous and open, and perhaps deciding you and your bestie are going to go do whatever and achieving the goal. And in the lower vibrations, it can be kind of nasty. So just remember that, right? Just remember that. And remember, you always have an opportunity to, you always have the opportunity to make the choice. I'm still like, I just like stopped myself in thinking that sentence because I'm still trying to think of the word and it's driving me crazy. All right, lastly, let's talk the new moon. There is a new moon happening on the 21st of this month in the sign of Libra. And for you, this energy is once again taking place in the part of the sky that involves your routines. And so it's a really, this month is really focused for you, Taurus, on like your everyday life. You have a really powerful opportunity this month to situate your routines in a way that is very flowing for you. It's effective for you. It's productive for you. It's efficient for you. It works for your energy, right? It works for your energy. I was lucky enough to release myself from the corporate world. Lucky slash intentional slash manifesting, right? It didn't work for my energy. This 9 to 5, ooh, sorry, making the camera jiggle. This 9 to 5 idea just boggles my mind. I'm like, nobody can focus that many hours in a row realistically, right? But yet so many people are doing it. And so this month with this new moon, you could send out desires that relate to your work routine, maybe switching it up, that relate to your every single day life, switching it up, and that relates to your health as well. So specifically, if you are already in good health, but you still want to manifest around health, you could just simply manifest higher energy, more productive energy, getting into flow state more often. Those are ways you could still manifest when it comes to your health without, if you're not like in bad health, right? It's also the part of the sky that involves being of service to others. And so if you are desiring to put yourself out there in a way, Taurus, that does help other people, maybe you're nervous, maybe you're lacking a little bit of confidence or self-esteem, or you're like, I feel like I can help people, but I'm not sure, or I don't know what to say. This is a time where you could use this new moon energy to manifest those desires around helping and serving others. All right, Taurus, claim it in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button to lock it in, and I'll see you back here soon.